Okay, it looks like we are live, so welcome everybody to a rainy Monday Kerbal stream. It's a bit rainy out today, which means I had to cut my ride a little bit short, so I have just a little bit of time that I thought I would fit in some more Kerbeling, and I'm going to be working on Cerillion, as I have been for those of you who have not been watching lately. I have been exploring the new planet Cerillion, made by the White Guardian. It's available through CCAN and pretty much everywhere else that you can download Kerbal mods. I've got a full base there, and I have been doing much in the way of exploration. And the biggest and most important thing that I've been doing is exploring the moon, one of the moons of Cerillion called Disparia. So the White Guardian was kind enough to go ahead and name one of the best moons in the game after my book series. So I'm super excited about that, and I have been exploring it quite a bit. Last episode, let's see, hold on a second. I'm just trying to figure out there we go. Last episode, I managed to fly the SSTO shuttle hybrid from Kerbin and land it safely on the shores, literally on the shores of Cerillion. I almost went into the ocean. Thank you, parachutes and air brakes. I didn't quite go in, so that's where I ended last time. And between that stream and today, I was able to fly it almost to the base. You'll see, if you look off in the distance, that is our Kerbal community here on Cerillion. This is about as close as I could safely land it without risking flying hurtling the giant fueled massive vehicle into the base itself. So I figured this is more than enough, or close enough, without risking anything. So this little rover here is not only used for exploration, but it is, if I can switch over to the SSTO. Oh yeah, and I landed an exploration science craft. This is taken, the idea of this is I built this based off of the, let's see, what was it called? The it's one of the stock vehicles that I modified with extra science to get into orbit and explore. That's one of the things I did between streams, and here we go. But right now I am using our little shuttle rover to get our all hatches are obstructed. Okay, I guess they are staying. Didn't know that was a thing. I wonder if I get rid of the brakes, if that will... You know, of all the things I tested before getting it here, I never tested to see if they could actually get out. And it looks like they can't get out. Okay, well, good old Elon and Farewell are stuck there, which means oh, crud. And we're... Okay. Rolling into a rover because we took the brakes off. Which means this will not be needed, at least if I can get to it, for now. So we're going to go ahead and move that out of the way. For some reason I can't switch to it. Did it just disappear? I really think that just disappeared, didn't it? Okay, let me go back to the tracking station and see if it still exists or if it just completely vanished. That was really weird, but it was pretty funny, actually. Surface base, mothership, shuttle, refuel rover. I don't see it anywhere, unless I'm just missing it. It looks to me like that just completely vanished. Well, that's a new one. I don't want that to disappear because obviously that's a bad thing. So I'm going to go ahead and reload since I didn't actually do anything yet, and I will know that I can't get my little friends out of the SSTO, so I'm not going to bother. Let's see, I think this is the one that I need to reload. Yeah, I don't know why that disappeared, but that was, I guess the invisible ghost kraken devoured it, but hey, we can always reload. But that was pretty weird. I've never seen that before, where something just completely vanishes, and I don't think that I accidentally deleted it or anything. So I guess we are going to launch this thing, and let me show you on the map here what I have planned. Is I'm going to get this into orbit and rendezvous with the mothership, which has little pods on it that are perfect for landing on the moons around Cerillion. So I'm going to go pick those up and sort of shuttle it, since the SSTO has plenty of Delta V with the nuclear engines. It's really efficient. It's a more efficient way to sort of fly between the moons than just using a rocket every time. The only problem here is that I wanted to carry crew, and now that they can't get out, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. I do know that the little pods are can be remote controlled, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and have to do that. But first, I need to make sure everything is staged back as it should be for getting off the planet, because as you can see, when I tried to land and had to mash all the parachutes, I had to mess around with the staging really quickly, and I don't think I'm going to need an engineer to come and redo those parachutes, since I know how to land this well enough with those air brakes. There's more or less enough runway here to do it. So let me see if I can go ahead and activate everything, and we will get going into orbit. Make sure my throttle's down. Actually, I don't want to start and smash into the rover and make it disappear again, although this time from burning death explosions. Okay, and it looks like we are well fueled. Just want to make sure I have, everything is topped off except the electric charge, but that is not going to be an issue. And yeah, for those of you who have not seen it, this is my interplanetary SSTO/shuttle hybrid. I launched it like a shuttle with fuel tanks and boosters, and then from here on out it is on its own. So let me switch to surface and see if I can't get this thing going a little bit and not hit our rover. Oh, brakes are on. Guess best way to fly is by turning the brakes off. I'm not really turning, am I? Okay, cutting the throttle, and we're going to switch over to the rover and make sure it is not right in the path of our shuttle, because I don't know why it disappeared, but I'm not going to risk it. So let's just kind of casually move this thing out of the way just a little bit. And this is, in future episodes, I'm going to use this to go exploring, because it too has plenty of science. I should have, I think, the service bay here. Let me just show you really quick. Open up the service bay. I've got lots of science experiments, but I don't, and good old Jeb's piloting it. I actually need to go get some scientists so that we can redo actually, I should probably extend that since it's not getting any signal. There we go. Since Jeb isn't the best scientist, he's good at eating pudding cups and flying, but neither of those things are necessary with it. So I will need to go pick up a scientist later, but for now, let's try and take off without exploding. So I will be quick saving, because as you can see, there are a wee bit of rocks ahead. Luckily, this thing can take off relatively quickly with all the flaps and control surfaces I've given it. So let's see if we can't do this without dying. That's today's goal, is to not die. You'll notice that it has a bit more surface area than you would probably think for an SSTO, and that's because I wanted it to make sure it can fly and glide really easily and take off before it hits rocks. But somehow I actually managed to thread that needle. Look at that. Almost a built-in runway here. I'm surprised that I was able to get it that close. Last time I took this off, I had a hill that I used, and I forgot to activate most of my control surfaces. So let's see if we can't hurry and... Oh, crud. Yep, here we go. We're going. Yep, had no doubt that would work. No doubts whatsoever. And I forgot to close the solar panel. Let's go ahead and do that now. I want to turn around because I want to start heading south so that I can get closer to the equator, or at least pointed in that direction, and then I'm going to try and get into orbit. So I'm going to watch my speed here. I don't think I have any brakes on. I have plenty of thrust, I think. Yeah, my speed's okay, especially for the sharp corner. All my engines are on. They are full throttle. So let's see. Elon and Farewell don't look... you probably actually can't see. There you go. How about that? Elon and Farewell don't look too thrilled with the angle that our angle of attack, but they'll live, more or less. Just loop this back around. Like I said, I want to start heading due south, just to get a little bit closer to the equator, and I'm going to fly that way for a little while. So I must say I'm really surprised that this thing works. I tested it in Kerbin. I was able to get it into orbit, and I was able to land it back on the runway safely. I was able to re-enter it without any issues, amazingly. But I did not think it would actually work on Cerillion, given that it's a little different than Kerbin. There is a nice atmosphere, and there is breathable air, but it's a little less dense as far as I'm aware, and it's smaller, so there's a little bit less gravity. So I wasn't really sure how the what its characteristics would be like. And oh, what's it targeting? Wait, I don't have a target. I just want to go to orbit. Actually, I should probably set the target for the mothership, shouldn't I? Since that's eventually what I will be rendezvousing with. So if I can adjust my direction in the atmosphere, I have a feeling that would be a little bit more efficient than doing it out, because these rapiers, when they're breathing air, are probably a little bit more... Actually, yeah, what's their ISP? Yeah, their specific impulse is even better than the nuclear engines in orbit, so I want to try and do most of my maneuvering here to save fuel. Let me make sure I'm going the right direction. Yes, I am heading south. I'm actually going to start curving south-southeast just a little bit now that I'm actually going the right direction, and I will be picking up speed the whole time so that I can get ready to go into orbit. So this is actually good rate of ascent and velocity increase. So all things are go. Elon and Farewell look much happier now that they're not aiming straight at the ground. It is relatively close to the mountain, but we're going to clear it, no problems. Oop. So I'm just going to turn this slowly, and forgive the clicking. I started playing Kerbal on the PS4 last year and got really used to a controller, and you'll notice that a keyboard is vastly different than a... Keyboard and controllers are not the same, and I really haven't mastered how to fly very well, other than just mashing the keys to try and be precise. Haven't learned that one yet. I want to actually get a joystick for flight with this, because that would be so much more fun. And I also play Flight Simulator X, or FSX, the Steam version, on my own, and flying with that would be a lot more fun than my Xbox controller. Oh, and it looks like the White Guardian has joined us. Greetings, White Guardian, how are you? For those of you who have been watching or are not aware, he is the one that created the planet pack, including the moon Disparia. So if you guys are interested, be sure to take a look at it and download it. So he is the one who created this. Check out his other work. He's done a lot of really amazing things. But greetings, Guardian. How are you? I guess, wait, tonight. Yes, technically tonight. How are you tonight? Losing a little speed. I think I actually want to nose down just a little bit here. Whoops. By nose down, I don't mean roll. Looks like the white, and then switches to it. Well, yeah, good old ads. I don't know how to disable those. I don't know why they're there. I guess that's just a Twitch thing. So just imagine you're at the movie theaters and watching ads before you actually start the show or something. So yes, what I'm doing today, in case you didn't catch the beginning, is I'm seeing how my little shuttle works. I'm testing to see if it's efficient enough to get into orbit and rendezvous with the mothership down here and take one of the pods to one of the moons. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if I'll have enough Delta V, but I'm willing to give it a shot. We're going to see how that goes. So today's goal is to try and meet up with the mothership with our lovely little SSTO that I did land. I don't know if you caught the beginning. I did manage to fly this back to the base that I have on Cerillion. If you remember last time, I sort of landed it near the ocean a bit, I was able to actually navigate and get it back to the base. So what I'm doing today is taking off from the base after getting fully fueled, if you'll see down here, and seeing if I can meet up with the mothership. No promises on that one because obviously this is Kerbal. I am not leaving from the Kerbal Space Center, which means kind of seat of the pants stuff here. So I don't know if any of this will work, but I figure the best way to try is by putting Kerbal lives on the line to see. So what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to pick up some speed, and I'm slowly turning east so that when I get into orbit, it's pretty easy to adjust my inclination and my direction to meet up with the mothership. And like I was saying, it's probably more efficient to do it in the atmosphere here than it is with the nuclear engines, because these are giving me, 3,200 for my specific impulse, as opposed to, I think, what are the nuclear engines, 800 or something? But I haven't, bleeding off speed. This thing likes to become a parachute if I dive or dip at all. So I want to try and pick up speed a little bit lower, and then I'm going to shoot up. But everything has to be done relatively slowly since I don't want to bleed off speed. The wings work well for lift, and they also work well for catastrophic deceleration. Meaning if I do anything that's not super gentle, it's a Kerbal Death Spiral. And you'll notice our little G-force indicator here tends to get pretty high whenever we fly this thing, but Elon and Farewell look like they're pretty happy about things. So we'll go with that. And I'm obviously learning the most efficient places to try and fly an SSTO or anything with the rapiers in Cerillion's atmosphere, because, like I said, I haven't done my science yet, and you've created an enigma of a planet that I am basically trying to learn as I go, which is why I'm trying to keep it under 8 or 10,000, because I don't know how dense everything is, and I have a feeling I need a little bit more air to really get my speed up before I shoot up and get into orbit. So I'm just slowly trying to turn. I don't think I'm going to get all the way over to 90 before I try my maneuver. But I am drinking fuel rather quickly, so that's a little worrisome. But again, what's the worst that can happen, right? I mean, they crash. Then we can send the rover to go get them. Oh wait, yeah, I think you missed the part at the beginning where, remember how I had all these grand plans about shuttling Kerbals to and from the mothership and having them get a free ride back to the base, after they do their little science? Do you remember that at all? I think this is just about a good enough angle. Yeah, nice and slow maneuver here. I think I do. Well, yeah, so my plan was to have this, since this does seat 4 and it can hold the pods on the back, my plan was to have this shuttle the little pods that I showed you last time and the Kerbals. Well, come to find out, little Elon and Farewell can't actually get out because I obstructed all the doors, so they're trapped in there until either they starve to death or they get bored and kill themselves. So the moral of the story is I'm going to be using unmanned pods, shuttling those around, because we can't add or subtract Kerbals. Elon and Farewell are in this for the long haul. Unless you know of a way that I can selectively, unless there's a way I can selectively destroy things by, I don't know, landing things on top of bits that are obstructing the doors. That's about the only thing I can think of. Blowing up, I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's parachutes or something. I think this is, the only doors are on the side, right? Which means I would have to blow up, I would have to blow up, whack a Kerbal indeed. I would have to blow up basically everything to get them off. So that's where we're at. So good job me, slow clap for getting only one thing, and that's that they need to get out. But luckily they have food tubes, I'm going to say, that they can open up the window a little bit and just stick pudding cups, because in case you didn't know, Kerbals like, their favorite snacks are pudding cups. Jeb specifically, but all Kerbals like pudding cups. That's their favorite snack. So they can just sort of stick a pudding tube through the window and just inject pudding when they need food. So that's my plan to keep them alive. But obviously, having realized that they are flying what is going to be their coffin, and they're not too disappointed. They're pretty happy about it. I mean, both of them are. What sort of emotion would we say that is? Placid acceptance. How about that? We will say they are placidly accepting placidly their fate, right? They're doing this in the name of science. They got a little nervous when I was doing a maneuver that was going poorly, and I was aiming them right at the ground, but since then they're looking pretty happy. And it looks like we're picking up speed and altitude pretty well. Or maybe it's that they are just, it might be the chocolate trouser face, and now they're just realizing that they have to sit in that. Ooh, look at our speed. This is picking up nicely. Let's see. Yeah, that actually won't be too bad to sort of correct our direction and inclination. Oh, actually, I should probably check my Apple apps. Yeah, they're staring into my soul. Yeah, you'll notice that I moved my ugly mug to show you more Kerbal faces, because Kerbal faces are... let me finish that thought. Can I just say that I have an Apple apps of... look at my Apple apps, and that's purely on air breathing. So whatever you did to create this planet, I love it that I'm still on air breathing mode. And I have an Apple apps of... Perfect. Look at that. 126, and it's all air breathing. I was able to do that with one burn. So let me just say, I don't know what sort of black magic voodoo you did when you were making this planet, but I love it, and I can get almost straight into orbit. Yes, I am losing a little bit because of the atmosphere, but I like that I can get that high with air breathing. I mean, relative to Kerbin, because I know it is a little bit smaller, so... At least those Kerbals aren't doing this. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm going to check out your link while I keep doing this. If the stream goes down because I'm using too much bandwidth, I will be back. Okay, let's see. Kerbal wackiness. Let's see. Where's it? Why are his eyes vibrating like that? What? So that's vibrating Kerbal syndrome. That's awesome. That reminds me of an episode of The Simpsons. Which one was that? Now I'm going to be trying to remember that. Time Warp. Okay. Episode of The Simpsons. I'm going to try and remember which one that is. Dang it. Now it's going to be me just sitting here the rest of the stream trying to remember a specific episode of The Simpsons. Probably one of the modded physics warp. Oh, okay. It's probably one of the Treehouse of Horror ones. Okay, let's see if we can't circularize. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let MechJeb handle this bit. Ooh, there we go. Circularize at the next Apple apps. I believe they just cut off from air breathing mode, correct? And it should be... Oh, wait, I have... So when it shows that means that's the mode that they're on, right? Let me activate my nukes for this. Wow, do you hear that thud? That's a... I don't know. Can you tell me if you can hear that? But that's a really cool sound. I've never heard that when I activate the nukes. Listen to this. Let me do it on this one. It's like a gunshot or something. That is the best sound effect I've ever heard. Could you actually hear that? Oh, dang it. You don't hear any Kerbal sounds at all? Let me know if you can hear any Kerbal noises. Let's see. Okay, no worries. I will be here just trying not to kill everyone in the meantime. My apoapse is dropping a little bit, but this burn should still... I'll just increase my height once I've gotten to a stable orbit. And I think that it's not time warping because I'm still in the atmosphere. That's my guess. I have auto warp on. It is, yeah, 3 minutes. Oh, I think it's because it's not sure really where it's supposed to be yet because of the very top end of the atmosphere here. I think once we get out of it, then it can time warp and everything will be ace. But as of now, it's still trying to calculate. You'll notice that the node time and the burn time were fluctuating just a bit. Let's see what our friends are seeing. That is very pretty. I must say that is a very lovely shot. They're flying coffin, they at least get a nice view. And I can click on the engines that are blocking them in forever. Yeah, well, if you get 99% of the things right when you're building, the 1% you get wrong is going to be catastrophic, evidently. And there are only 2 of our little friends trapped in here, so I guess that's not all bad. Let's see. All of our engines should be off except the nuclear engines, which is exactly as I need it. Because that should give me more than enough oomph to get into orbit. At least they have before, so I want to save my oxidizer for anything else I might need. Sort of emergency maneuvers, we'll say. Let me close some of these so that I can get a better look at everything. There we go. I love the rings on this planet. I mean, that's quite a lovely sight. Well, I might as well extend my solar panel, the one that I have left, since, you know, I broke the other one going too quickly in the atmosphere. Whoops. Hopefully this is enough to keep it live, since we are pretty far from the sun. I'll show you where, for those of you who have not played around with Cerillion, I'll show you where its orbit is. So you can see it's between Dres and Jewel. A nice orbit out here, which means we are getting to that region where solar panels are not necessarily the most effective. And having broken one of them... Oh, there we go. Nice. Looks like the maneuver should be okay. I'll clean it up after it circularizes. Actually, let me try turning the volume up if nobody can hear it. Music. Let me just turn the master up a little bit. There we go. Now we'll sit back and while we are waiting, oh look, now they're well pleased. Look at that. Elon and Farewell are right happy about that. I love their faces. Ooh, look at, oh man. Okay. That's there we go. Screenshot worthy right there. The sun in the distance. Yeah, I'm taking a screenshot of that. Let me take a look on map view how we are doing with our burn. We're losing a little bit of altitude, but as long as it's above 70,000, sort of like Kerbin, I think we should be okay. I'll just make it a little bit larger. And actually, when I do the angle change to match with that's going to match with the mothership, that's going to push it out just a little bit anyway, so I don't think I'm going to need to worry about that right off. that ship, the other air-breathing ship, sort of SSTO, that I showed you at the beginning, that is what I'm going to use to actually explore and fly around the planet itself, doing sort of atmosphere hops where I shoot up, launch above the atmosphere, then come back down to try and be as efficient as possible. That's what I'm going to be using that craft for. And if I have time later, I might take that out for a little flight. But I'm not sure. I only have about an hour and a half at the most today. Sunrise over Cerillion. The ship may be ugly, but everything else is pretty. Make it as cinematic as I can. And I've said it before, but I really enjoy the way these nuclear engines look with the Real Plume mod on. Yeah, I love that nice sort of purplish pink effect. I guess the color depends on what your monitor settings are. But it's sort of a pinkish reddish hue on mine that I really like. So while I wait for the White Guardian to come back, I just want to put another plug in. For those of you who play this and like mods, be sure to check out his planet pack. Because it's pretty much the most beautiful planet pack I have ever seen. Oh, looks like we're coming to the end. And it has so much to it. There are plenty of Easter eggs. I'm going to say that's good. Plenty of Easter eggs. Oh, it looks like we need to... we need to increase... that's not quite going to get us into orbit, is it? Let's see what I can do here. 76... And that's 150. That's a little bit. So let me just try and do this emergency maneuver. Execute next node. There, I just wanted to make sure we're not going to have any major problems. And I think I will turn on... Remember that whole emergency thing? This is exactly what I was talking about. Whoa! I thought it switched! There we go. Now they both should be good. That wasn't quite what I... This is not going well, is it? Yeah, it could have gone better. Okay, why don't we cancel this, turn SAS on, head prograde, and we'll do another maneuver. This one with less violent, twisty mistakes that... Yeah, that was quite good. That should give us... Oh, that's a little bit much. Oh, boy. Yes, execute next node. Go for it. Please save the ship. There we go. Look, now we're going to do it. Yeah, we'll just forget that little mistake happened. Okay, burn. There we go. This is why we have our rapiers on, for a little extra thrust when we need it. And I'm going to turn the center one on as well. Automatic. There we go. Plenty of thrust to fix our almost mistake. I didn't even look at their faces when that was happening. I wonder... It looks like Farewell's lost his mind. Look at that. They both look like they've just completely snapped and lost it. That's hilarious. So, is this... Okay, let's see if we can't... Yeah, I think this is going to be okay. What's our apoapse? Oh, wait, no. We need to push it out just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to be super careful with this. Since we are just sort of skimming the top of the atmosphere here. Well, I guess lesson learned. Go plenty high before you do your burns, since Cerillion does tend to bite a little bit if you're making any mistakes. So remember that. Cerillion doesn't like you unless you are very, very kind to it. And by kind, I mean you plan well ahead. Okay, good. Now we're starting to go back up a bit, I think. Yeah, we should be good. Okay. Oh, problem solved. We're good. Phew. I will be turning the rapiers off just for efficiency's sake, since I don't think we're going to need them. So let's head prograde, turn off these. Then we should be able to do the rest with our nukes, since, you know, we got our mistakes out of the way. Maybe. Yeah, we're just skirting through the very, very top of the atmosphere here, and it is dropping our apoapse, which is why I made it a little higher than we need. So let's try and see if we can't match planes with our target. Yeah, at the nearest, how about, let's just see what it does when I tell it. Okay, let's see what MechJeb does when I just say go for it. And as long as our apoapse doesn't drop below 80, which it kind of looks like it might. Jeez. Okay, maybe we're going to have to... Crud. Well, cancel that. Aim back prograde and burn. Man, this atmosphere bites. By bites, I mean it really doesn't like me today. Okay, let's just see if we can't get through this entirely. I should be running on just my nuclear engines, right? Yeah, good. Let's see what happens when I cut them, if I start losing altitude really quick. Not losing it as fast, so I'm hoping that I'm out of the dangerous part. So far, so good. Let me see what my elevation is. Yeah, I'm going really, really slow, but I am going up. Yes, this could have been much more efficient. I'm sure had I thought this through a little bit. Fast forward again. Once I get above 70, 75, then I'm safe, but that hasn't happened, so I'm still not out of the woods, or I guess the space woods. Yes, we're not out of the space woods yet. Just watching my apoapse here. See if I need to keep burning. My periapse is quite low, but that's behind me, and I can burn and fix that really easily. Just a few burns here. Fast forward. Yes, my elevation is getting high enough to where I am just about safe. You'll notice my apoapse is dropping slower than it was before, which means I'm way up out of the atmosphere. And we are under time acceleration here. I'm just going to turn and look at the planet because I love the way it looks. As soon as we stop losing height, then I'm going to set up the maneuver to circularize, and then we can start doing our matching the planes with the mothership. Oh, we're just about there, I think. Yeah, the atmosphere on this planet, you'll see I'm just at the leading edge of it at 90,000. We're almost there. Being so the mothership is orbiting at 120K, and being a little bit under is actually preferred because as I make that inclination adjustments, it tends to kick out the orbit a little bit, so that will that will fix that slightly as we go about doing that. I'm gonna say we're safe here. It's still dropping, but it's so slowly now that I think we should be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to our map view. Make sure I don't have I don't think I have a maneuver up. Good. Okay. I'm going to circularize at the next apoap. So whew, I think we are safe. Yeah, we're safe, I guess. Could have gone better. Definitely could have gone better. So one of the things I want to do later on, and by later on I don't mean today, I mean later on, one of my other streams is work on building a shuttle, not a shuttle replica, but I guess a shuttle analog, one that functions similarly but is a little bit broader in scope. The issue, I have a bunch of mods for parts, including the SpaceY mods, and there are a few others, but I haven't found any good alternatives to the shuttle engines for an actual space shuttle. See, I have really good engines with. Okay, let me back up a little bit. So the shuttle engines in the game, the shuttle-alike engines, I forget the name of them. I'd have to go check in the vehicle assembly building. But the shuttle-like engines provide one. Let's see, they have 1,000 for their thrust rating, and they weigh 4 tons. Engines like the RD-180s weigh, I think, a fourth of that and actually produce 1,200. I think it's kilonewtons, right, of thrust. So they actually produce more thrust, and they weigh a quarter as much, which means if you want to keep the back end of your shuttle from being super fat and heavy, those would be a good way to go. But they don't actually fit in the engine mounting system, that sort of slanted one that comes on the stock game. So I've been looking for engines that look shuttle-like, that are a little bit more, not necessarily more efficient, but they just don't weigh as much because most of the mod engines aren't as heavy relative to their thrust. So I've been looking for engines like that, but if anybody has any suggestions for a mod, a set of a parts pack that would sort of fit that, let me know. But I do want to work on making a slightly larger shuttle, one that has crew capacity. So I want to use the Mark III crew cabin in it so that I can ferry some Kerbals. I want to try and make it sort of long range and maybe in the central. So if you look at the shuttle, the back end of the shuttle mount, the stock part, it has 3 attachment points for engines, and then it has a central one. It would be nice to put a nuclear engine in the center. So the reason I want to save weight with my nozzles, the 4-ton nozzles that come stock, the reason I want to cut those out and use something else is so that I can then add a 4th engine in the center, which would be a nuclear engine, which means that if I save just a little fuel, if I put just one little fuel compartment in the shuttle, it can actually go maybe to the moon or Duna and back and do a little bit of extra science. So that's one of the things I want to work on in the future, since I've never really been able to do a shuttle well, and I'm still looking for better shuttle parts. But if anybody has any parts packs that would fit that, go ahead and let me know in the comments when I upload this to YouTube. That would be much appreciated. And like I said, I don't want ones that are identical to the shuttle. I would like something that would provide more or less the same thrust and in a small size that weighs a little bit less than the stock game engines. Why is this not fast forwarding? I thought I had auto warp on. I'm just going to go ahead and quick warp since it's taking forever. And I am still slightly losing height because I think that that's why I actually have a 120K orbit for my the mothership. It's because that's completely out of any of the atmosphere to make sure I'm super safe. I wonder how high this is actually going to go. if it's going to circularize according to where I'm at right now. Yep. Let me actually bump it up just a little bit higher. I am going to put it to about 110, 112. There, that should be good. Okay, now let's quick save because I haven't been doing that, and we see what happens when I don't. Let's see if we can't match planes. And I do like to use MechJeb for a lot of these because I could do it on my own with the dragging, but it just takes so much longer. And the fun part of this is to go through the process as opposed to fine tune. 825. That's not too bad. Instead of fine tuning maneuver nodes the whole entire time. So that's why I like to use MechJeb. Is it speeds up the process to make it more fun. You can do more in a single, I guess, sitting than you could if you were just trying to drag the maneuver nodes on your own. And that way we can look at the planet itself. I'm going to turn off the HUD so that I can get a good look at that. It is really breathtaking, especially from this angle with the sun shining down on it. It is a really, really interesting and breathtaking planet. And what's that little blip over there? If you guys can see it, I'm not sure. I hope that's not just a mark on my screen. Yeah, I think that's one of the moons over there. I'm sure I could go into the map view and see. I can't see which one it is. Thought it was a moon. Is it... Maybe... I wonder if it is Disparia. No, I don't know. It must be a moon. That's my guess. But those are the planets up there. I'm going to say that's probably Jewel, and that's Eve, and that's Duna, I would imagine. No, that's Disparia right there. So whatever I was looking at might have even been something like Elu. What's way out there? Huh. Oh, well, UFO, because there need to be UFOs in this game. Not that Kerbals don't look like the things that would actually fly UFOs, but you know what I mean. Let's see why we aren't warping to our... Yeah, why isn't auto warp not on? That's so weird. And why is my periaps dropping? Quite significantly, I'll say. I don't know what is going on today. But I keep losing altitude. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Let's angle prograde. I just need to bump this way out above 120 because I keep losing altitude, and I think that's messing up the maneuver nodes. That's why it's not warping. So let's go way up there, and then we'll circularize again. Yes, head right prograde. We'll kick it out. We're going to bump it way out. And then we are going to circularize and see if it'll actually work this time at our next apoapse. And yes, let's auto warp. And hope that it actually auto warps this time. I think because we're losing altitude, it's not going to. I might have to do this on my own again. Yeah, see, it keeps trying to chase the maneuver node. That's fun. Oh, crud. Wrong button. Accidentally went to the home screen on my computer. You have returned. Well, you have returned to a little bit of a nightmare here. I keep trying to circularize, but I keep losing altitude because I think I'm in the topmost region of the atmosphere, and I keep bleeding off altitude. So every time I try and do a maneuver, my maneuver node keeps slowly changing because my apoapse and periapse keep changing. So I have been playing catch up with your 118. Okay, I've been playing catch up with my periapse and apoapse, and the problem is that I can't warp faster than 4x, which means I keep sort of chasing it over and over and over, hoping to make it work. But obviously, it's not going super well. So I'm going to see if I can't bump it way out. That way, by the time I get there, I've lost enough that I'm still above 118. Yes, 118, the evil atmosphere number. So let's go ahead and kick this way out. Yeah, we're going that far. And we'll cut it. Now let's see if I can't warp. And by the time I get there, hopefully it's above 118, because you devious planet crafter, you've made a planet that... You've made an evil planet that actually... No, actually it loves me. That's why. It just wants everyone to come back. It's like it's trying to give everything in orbit a hug. You know, it keeps trying to hug everything and bring it back to the surface. It really, really likes people to visit it. I'm going to go with that because that actually makes more sense. That's physics. Yeah, the planet just really, really likes people. Just wants everyone to come hang out with it. So while we wait for this to happen and hopefully, happen properly, I think I realized something. I was out on my ride today thinking about what to do with Kerbal, and I think I did the math, and this is how it did. I've realized something. So I'm hold on a sec. I'm actually getting warm. It's been raining all day and cold, but I'm finally getting warm in here. So uno momento. I've been freezing all day because I got caught in the rain on my ride. Came home soaking wet. Had to clean my bike, and I was freezing. And now I've finally gotten warm. But anyway, so I've realized something, and that's that I think I'm secretly a 5-year-old. And the reason Kerbal is so fun is because it's basically like playing with toys and Legos when you were a kid. Because anything you imagine, you get to, pew pew, play with your little toys. And Kerbal's basically the grown-up version of that with a sprinkling of physics. So yeah, I think I'm secretly 5 years old, and this is basically playing with toys. And that's why I love it so much, is I can come up with anything I can imagine. And it's like playing with toys. So yeah, that's why Kerbal's amazing, is because it appeals to your secret 5-year-old. And I don't think I'm alone on that. Ooh, look, we did it. Okay, we are going to actually circularize at the next apoapse. Yeah, like Lego for grown-ups. Yeah, well, very, very, very expensive. But, I mean, obviously, since I'm a writer, I have a rather vivid imagination. And one of the things that I really like is just, I might not be doing the most bleeding-edge Kerbal things. I might not have the most elaborate contraptions. Okay, some of mine have been elaborate, but, I might not have the most elaborate or convoluted things in the world, but I like to imagine things. I like to have, stories that I come up with. One of the things I was thinking about doing, just for fun, I mean, I'll probably stream it at some point, is, just coming up with... I like to come up with scenarios. Kerbal... Remember the snowhead on Disparia? Yes, I do remember the snowhead on Disparia. Ooh, it looks like we did it. I'll finish the story once I get this maneuver, and I will wait for your response. So I will finish my thought after you finish your thought. Okay, now we can actually... Gave you the creeps. Yeah. Well, too bad it wasn't around Halloween time. My bad. Let's see, where is it? Match planes. Okay. Create and execute. Now that we're safe, I think this way I'm just going to have to wait for it to catch up to me since I have a large orbit, but that's not a huge deal. But one of the things that I wanted to do, just because it's fun to, come up with stories in your head and sort of play that out in Kerbal land, little Kerbal villas, have a rocket test from the Kerbal Space Center go wrong and have it crash land in the mountains to... I want to say it's the west of the Space Center, and then build a plane that's really good at short landings and takeoffs so that it can sort of go, navigate through the mountains and look through the crashed Kerbal, and it can land on sort of a cliffside. So, come up with something that can take off at like 30 meters per second and land almost anywhere, almost like a Piper Cub airplane, something that you would use in the Alaskan bush for getting in, really steep landings and takeoffs, and just build something like that and go rescue a Kerbal, sort of who's, lost in the mountains. Something like that would be fun, that I thought about doing in the near future. So it's things like that mean that I'm actually secretly a 5-year-old, and I'm really happy that I'm actually 5 years old, because this game is a big toy box, and I love that. I don't think I could ever get bored with this because it's basically your imagination and it's toys, and we have an excuse, even though we're not 5, to act like we're 5. So that's why Kerbal's amazing. And that's why I don't think I could ever, until my computer dies or something, stop playing this. And yes, coming up with even, creepy ideas like seeing the head on Disparia, fun things like that is why this game's so amazing. And obviously, since you've created so many mods for it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the fan fiction with your name, with the White Guardian where you got your name. So even with that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Might as well create. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're almost 90% of the way there, right? Somehow figure out how to make something scream at certain times or whenever you land in a geyser or something like that. Yeah, just the Five Nights at Freddy's style jump scare on Disparia somewhere. Whoa, what's it doing to my periapts? Hold on a sec here. What? I'm going to let it run through the burn, and then I can increase my periapts, because look, it's dropping it. But I think once we get the inclination shifted, then I can just do a burn to kick out my periapts. So I'm not going to worry about that. F5ing just because I know I'm going to have to worry about that. Oh, what do you know? Let's see. The code KSP uses for stuff like the head on Duna, which is exported from Unity. I looked at the code. Oh, wow. That would be crazy if you could do that. That would actually be really, really cool. I should probably kick on these, shouldn't I? Just to make this a little bit faster. I'm going to hurry and turn all 4 of those on so I can get this burn over with really quickly. And then I can kick out my periapts. And actually now I'm glad that I did the burn high enough so that I have plenty of room to play with. Craft a head-shaped hill and have it send out the scream. You would need to find the perfect audio file for that, though. I think the Kerbals and the people playing would have brown trouser syndrome. Okay, if you did that, that would be the greatest Easter egg / Kerbal nightmare ever. That would be the single best thing in all of KSP. You can scream weird enough, just record yourself doing it. Couldn't be a Wilhelm scream style thing. It would have to be almost like a horror movie, female in distress scream. Something shrieking and piercing that just, blows headphone users' brains out. There you go. Then as soon as I'm done with this burn, I'm going to burn and re-kick out my periapts since it is dropping quite a bit. I don't think I'm going to have time today, but later this week, what I want to do is once I rendezvous with the mothership is... I didn't show you... Okay, remind me to show you as soon as I get this thing in a stable orbit to meet up with the mothership. I'm going to show you the little jet that I made. I don't think I showed it to you last time. I don't think I had it last time. That I'm going to use to fly around the actual surface of the planet. Cry of a baby. Yeah. Or you could do the Cry of a baby overlaid with something else so that you have both of them going. But I want to show you the ship that I made to fly around and actually do science while flying over the planet's surface. It's a smaller craft that's loaded with a bunch of science. Here we go. So I'll have to remember that it takes about 500 to 1,000 meters per second to adjust my inclination for when I'm launching in the future. Okay, so my periapts is... Oh, hey. No, it fixed. Why did it... That was weird. You saw it going down, right? It was like at 60, but now that we finished the burn, it looks like it's fine. Go figure. If it works, I'm not going to question it. But speaking of things that don't make sense, you missed right at the beginning of the stream. I was about to take off from the planet's surface, and I had a rover parked next to my shuttle. Just disappeared. Just completely vanished. And I checked the tracking station. It didn't just disappear from that area. It was gone from the game. It wasn't even registered on the tracking station. It was just gone. So I think that Cerillion is partially haunted, and if you go ahead and add the Scream to Disparia, you are definitely going to have the creepiest and most haunted planet system in the whole game. And I'd say that's actually an achievement. So we are stable. Just verifying we are stable. Okay, before we go ahead and do our encounter, let me show you the craft that I have. See if I can find it. Somewhere over here. An evil plan. What, worse than the ones that... whoops. Oh, dang it. That's not what I meant. No, we want mothership as the target. We wanted to switch to... Switch to. Here we go. Let's hear your evil plan that is likely going to be... I can add this really creepy image on the surface of Cerillion somewhere. I'm coming for you. You can like put it in the textures. Yeah, so yeah. See, this is the craft that I created that can fly around and do science. You see it's got the science bay and a whole bunch of science bits. Oh, actually, let me extend... Oh, it is working. So I took the idea, I think it was the Raven Spear, one of the stock vehicles, and I changed it. I added the science bits, and I added some extra fuel tanks here to help it get into flight, because it's going to burn through it. I just wanted a little bit of extra delta V, but the idea is that'll help me get up to a high sort of Ares, there you go. A high sort of reconnaissance, and then I can drop them when they're empty. And I can sort of skip along the atmosphere to do science and get wherever I want to go on the planet's surface, since there is a lot to explore. Let's head back to the shuttle. Yeah, so I took that basic design and just sort of tweaked it. I didn't want to use the nuclear engines on something that small, since they'd be hanging off the edge. You know, the ship's that big, and then the nuclear engine would be just as big as the ship itself, and it would look way too awkward, so I didn't want to use that. So I went with the stock configuration, and they are the ramjet engines as well. Okay, so let's take a look and see what it says about our rendezvous planner. Rendezvous autopilot. With mothership, let's see, I'm going to have many orbits, because I know that... Actually, yeah, 500 meters is... No, I'm going to go 250. Let's see what it says is going to happen with this. I'm just curious how this is going to work. It's pretty easy to dock something if you come from a lower orbit and it's a small ship, but something that's really big like this, I've found that it's really sort of hard to get the maneuvering right. So I want to see what Mech Jeb says we can do. And then hopefully I'll be able to rendezvous with it, and I'll be able to stick one of the pods in there, and then I can go out and fly it to Disparia. Since I've still got plenty of fuel for that, even after doing all these maneuver changes, I should have plenty of Delta V left. Let me actually see how much it says I have. I know I've got more than that. I should have plenty more. Oh, I think that's because I have the rapiers on, and they're not as efficient. So let me shut those down. Right as we burn. I'll shut down after the burn. That almost gave me brown pants. That scared the heck out of me. Yeah, if you that was a jump scare right there. So activate, shut down. Are all those on? I'll leave 2 of them on. Is this on? Oh, yeah, I'll just leave 2 on. I don't need all of them on. Did that change my Delta V? No. Oh well. So we only have those 2 and the nuclear engines on, right? Oh wow, that's a pretty close encounter. Is that coming up? That's a really nice encounter with one little burn. Dang, look at that. That says separation 0.0. I don't know how that worked. So what's it doing here? If so, when is that going to? How many rotations is that going to be? Looks like quite a few, but that's still going to be a really nice maneuver. I'm surprised. Oh, one of the other things that I wanted to stream is I played around with this on the console version of the game. Is building a high-speed craft for in-atmosphere flight, is to see what sort of airspeed I can get, as fast as I can go with A, not exploding and bursting into flames, and B, not going into orbit or above 70 kilometers an hour. I played around with that just a little bit on the console, on the PS4 version, and I was able to get, I think, almost 2,000 meters per second without actually going up over 70 kilometers. So I want to actually play around with that and see if I can get going even faster. The hard part is that once you get going that fast, you need to have some way of decelerating, because even at that fast, the atmosphere doesn't slow you enough. You can just skip right out of it. So that's one of the things I want to try later on as well. It's actually pretty fun to try and come up with stuff like that, because it's harder than you think to keep it in the atmosphere the whole time. So what have we got going on next? Does it say, let's see, 28 minutes before we have our encounter. And I am quick saving just to make sure. And then we will head out to Disparia. Craft ones for when I would edit Kerbin. That could reach 1 kilometer. Yeah, it's a lot harder to do. And the issue, there are two major issues. The first issue, I'm terrible at space planes. Yeah, well, I guess that's technically still an airplane because it doesn't go into space. And I agree. I was saying while you were gone that one of the things I want to work on is building an actual shuttle, a space shuttle replica with a little bit more cargo capacity. But I'm absolute rubbish at that. But the two problems that you have when you build a high-speed plane for a high-speed, not space plane, but just plane, it can reach space. Orbit is something different. Yeah, is you get going so fast that it's really easy to bounce out of the atmosphere and go above 70 kilometers. And the other problem is that anything that's exposed to the atmosphere that isn't covered by something that's really heat tolerant or resistant just burns up instantly. I did come up with a cool way to get around that that I will have to show you. So is this our... Yeah, that is our official we are going to do it maneuver. Okay, quick saving, and we are going to see how this works. Let's point towards our target really quick, and then I will quick save. So this is actually going to be a really close encounter. One of the things that I found that I did is, the little tiny heat shields, the super tiny ones, is if you put the smallest strut, not the space tape, but the actual little cube, the absolute smallest structural support, if you stick that on the wingtips and you put a bunch of those, if you line them along the wingtips, you can then put the tiny little heat shields on. Oh crud, we're just about there, aren't we? I see it right there. I'm going to quick save in case I crash. I really should have planned this for the light side. Oh well. But yeah, if you put enough of those on, you can cover the leading edge of all the wings in the fins, but it doesn't create enough drag to interfere with your speed, but it does protect the wings so that you can basically go as fast as you want without too much drag or exploding. So next time I stream, I'll show you that. I'll try and work on that, but that was one of the ways that I found to get around the whole exploding Kerbal problem. So we are approaching it, aren't we? Let me turn my docking controls on. And yes, I really wish I had done this on the daytime side. Actually, you know what? I don't need to be any closer. I do need to be on the daytime side because I can't see a darn thing. But no worries. Just one sec. Phone's ringing. Hold on a sec. Sorry, just had a phone call. The sun is about to rise, I think. Yeah, but I think I'm going to run into it before that actually happens. Where is... I can't see anything. Okay, I'm going to quick save, then I'm going to switch over to the mothership. And I'm going to choose control from here. Okay, let's see if this works. Again, it's dark, I can't see, but of course, control from here. And I'm going to try and decouple it, and I'm just going to fly it over.
All right, sweetie.
Decouple.
See you tonight.
Okay, now let's make sure I am actually flying it from there.
Yeah, it went really good, so. Great,
We'll
see you
Okay, I know it says empty, but I did put remote guidance on this. It should be... There should be a remote guidance on here, unless it just completely ran out of power. Mothership ship, okay. We should be able to switch RCS on, right? Yes. Hey, look, it's working. Oh, phew. I didn't think that was going to work. Let me switch view. I want to get the locked view so that when I rotate, I actually know where I'm looking. It's so hard. I'm really, really terrible about... why can't I go rotation? It's not letting me do rotation on my RCS. They must be lined up weird. Here we go. We'll go like this. Press space. Oh, okay. Still learning, still learning. Good job, thank you. Okay, let's get up there, yes, and hopefully we, as soon as I rendezvous, I've got to finish up for the day, but I want to see if I can actually dock this thing. I should probably turn it on docking mode too, shouldn't I? Oh, I haven't set it as a target, that's why. Let me hurry and do that. I know, I want to set it as the docking node. Where is it? Is there an easier way? I mean... Docking was it? Yeah, docking tends to be a pain when you're A, not good at it, and B, it's in the dark. Okay, remind me next time to put lights on everything I make. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm just going to have to... Oh, not run into it, not run into it, not run into it. How close am I? Where's the docking port? I wonder... There we go. Okay, there we go. And let's turn this on. Try and kill off my speed a little bit. Quick save. If I recall, MechJeb has a docking autopilot. I want to see how this works. Autopilot enabled. Let's keep that to 2 meters per second. Let me just, I quick save before this. Let me just see how this works. I wonder if it's going to account for the rest of the structure in there. I'm not entirely sure, but let's see what it does. And if not, I'll just quick save and do it again. Whoa, what is it doing? Be nice to be able to see. So one thing that I'm not sure if you could help me with is all the videos I watch of this game, there are more stars in people's games. Like, I hardly see any stars. It's super dark. And I know that it's partly because... What is it doing? Running from a docking port. Oh, there we go. That would... I don't know what it was controlling from, but there we go. I don't know why I don't see that many stars. Do you have any idea what... It's just scraping across the top. Is it underneath? Oh, man, it's underneath it. Oh, that's... Okay, forget that. We're not using MechJeb. Oh, hey, we have light. That was hilarious. Either because you have depth of field or because those people have texture replacer. Yeah, because most videos I see there are far more stars than I have in my game. And I'm just wondering what I'm doing wrong, why I'm not seeing them. Because I want to see more stars. It looks really cool with stars. And on the dark side like this... Well, I think it was even before I put that mod on that it was like that. Okay, the question of the day is, can I dock this? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I accidentally went full throttle. Can I dock this before I have to go? Has a dynamic skybox dimmer. Huh. Ooh, a custom skybox would be amazing, because I love the stars. I mean, when you're in space, you expect to see every stars, you know? Every stars. But, I mean, I hardly see any. And it's not like it's a huge deal, but it's a little bit annoying. Or nothing to brag about, but I can do that. Yeah, that would be great to see. Okay, this... I am terrible at docking, at least things like this. I haven't had much... Any requests, though? Request in what way? Like, what it looks like, or... Okay, so hold on a sec. Let me see if I can't... Okay, this is the way I wanted to rotate. There we go. This is stressful. Oh, boy. I mean, I could add Hubble photography. Oh, yeah. No, honestly, anything that you like to do, anything that you could add to make it look more starry, I guess. Like a big bowl of space cereal up there. Yeah, nebula, anything. That would be really, really amazing. Because I think that's my one gripe about all this, is that it doesn't look spacey enough. Here we go. I have some rotation. Oh, crud. Stupid sticky keys. Okay. All right, how about this? Yes, how about... Man, this is a tight fit, isn't it? A skybox from the large... Oh, yes. If you can do that, I will be day one download grateful. Ooh, the Milky Way in the distance, but yeah. Sorry, I'm just focusing here. Okay, so I'm pretty much on it. Just need to go down now. Yeah, if you can do that, let me know. That would be superb. Sorry, I just want to get this in. That is such a tight fit, isn't it? I should have made it one size larger. And I should have put lights in there. Dang it, I'm an idiot. I really should have put lights in. Oh, this is so tight. Oh. Oh, I can't believe I did it. The ones, let's see, I'm going to see Beauty and the Beast, though. Go see it tomorrow. Oh, Linda saw that. She went with one of her friends, and she said she really liked it, except she's been a big Beauty and the Beast fan. Holy cow. Can you believe I did that? It fits, and I did it. Okay, I think that's a good place to end the stream for today. Let me switch the view here and make sure that it closes. Look, it works. It might be slow going, but the principle works. Where's the mothership? Just out of curiosity. Let me zoom out and see. Where'd the mothership go? Oh, there it is. Just ahead. Oh, that worked. That was so cool. I can't believe it worked. Yeah, no worries on that. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming for my regular Tuesday, my city skylines, you know, where I build the cities from my book. So tomorrow I'm not going to be doing any Kerbal, so no rush. I think, depending on the weather, so I need to do a big ride on... It's supposed to rain all week, so I need to try and time a big ride either Thursday or Friday if there's a break. So whichever days are bad weather, I'm more likely to have some time to stream. So it'd probably be Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, whichever day is the rainiest. I'll stream this again, but tomorrow I'm going to be doing my City Skyline stream. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, go ahead and send me the link for Evolution. I will be happy to get on that as soon as I can. But like I said, no rush on any of this. As soon as I get the link, I will start working on that for you. But no rush on getting the skybox or anything like that. Just keep me posted. So I'm going to go ahead and quick save it here and log off for the day. But But principle works. So next time I do this, I'm going to take this mothership and get in orbit around Disparia, and then I'm going to drop that little pod to do some exploration. Yeah, what favor? Let me see the reaction. Okay, I'm reading what you type. Let's see. Which reaction? To evolution or something else? Or when you do the... okay. Yeah. I will, as soon as I get that, I will stream and then I will upload that to YouTube. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Screenshot you showed on the Kerbal forums looked amazing. So I can't wait to see what it... Yeah, I really can't wait to see what you're doing with it. It's going to look really, really good. So one more quick save. Otherwise, I think I'm going to bid you a good night since it's, what, 11 o'clock or so there, give or take, and let you go see Beauty and the Beast, which, like I said, Linda went and saw that with one of her friends, and she really liked it. So good luck with that. You should enjoy it. Yeah, okay. Almost 12 o'clock. Yes, I will let you go. I got to go help with do some dinner prep before Linda gets home later. So I am going to log off, but I'm going to upload this, and just let me know when you have the information on evolution. Otherwise, have a good night, and I appreciate the hard work. So thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you guys tomorrow for City Skylines and later on this week for more Kerbal. So have a good night. I appreciate it. See ya.